We're going to take a look today at the Earth and the atmosphere and answering some questions that might come up about that topic. So I've got two questions for you. They're both linked to the same piece of information in the table. So this question here, scientists believe that the Earth was formed as a ball of molten rock and minerals which slowly cooled over time. They thought the Earth was covered with volcanoes and these volcanoes released gases to form the Earth's atmosphere. So in the table you've got the information on the early atmosphere and also the atmosphere today. So you've got some percentages there. The traces of other gases will be making reference to things such as, for the early atmosphere, nitrogen, ammonia, maybe methane. And for the atmosphere today, the traces are things such as carbon dioxide, water vapour, ammonia and methane. Now, the question is, explain what happened to the water vapour that was present in the Earth's early atmosphere. So you need to use your data, and you can see here that the water vapour was at 4%, and we have to assume that in the atmosphere today it's included in traces of other gases. Now, what they're testing is they want to know what's happened to it. Okay, so it was water vapour. They told you in the stem of the question up here that the Earth was covered with volcanoes. Now, you need to use your knowledge of the Earth today, and you know that if you looked at an image of a globe of the Earth, there is land as well as sea. Okay, so you want to talk about the formation of the seas or of the oceans. Okay, now if the water is vapour, we know that's as a gas. So what we need to be saying is water vapour. So you can say water vapour. If you don't say that and you just use the term it, that is okay, they'll allow that. Water vapour, and what they want is it condensed. So that means it's changing state from a gas to a liquid. So water vapour condensed to form the oceans. Okay, and to work that out for which part is the 2 marks, condensed is 1 mark and form the oceans is the 2nd mark on that question. Okay, so 1 sentence will get you both of those marks. All right, now that table there is also linked to the next question. Okay, so give 2 reasons why the percentage of carbon dioxide decreased over time. Okay, so when they're saying over time, if we flick back, we're talking this time, I'm going to change my colour so that you can see, carbon dioxide was 95%, and we have to assume again here that it goes to become in the atmosphere today traces of other gases. Okay, so it was 95%, and now there's a trace of carbon dioxide, and they want 2 marks. So when the Earth's atmosphere was originally formed and they told you in the stem of the question about the volcanoes, there's no mention of plants. And we know that there's a lot of greenery, a lot of forest, a lot of green plants on our planet, on Earth. Okay, now the carbon dioxide has decreased very simply because CO2 is used by plants in photosynthesis. Okay, now some people will be going, well, this isn't a chemistry question, this is linked to biology. It is, however, it's also part of the chemistry that you need to know for the Earth and the atmosphere. All right, now that mark is probably the easiest one to get. Okay, and you can say that. Then you've got to think about another one, and the second marking point I think is much harder. So that's 1 marking point. The second marking point, there's a variety of options. That gas, probably one of the easiest ones, has been dissolved in the oceans. Okay, now notice I've not written CO2. That's fine. They have to assume I'm talking about CO2, about carbon dioxide. So your second one could be dissolved in the oceans. You've got other options that you could say, where you've said CO2 is used by plants in photosynthesis, and you could also say used in photosynthesis and oxygen is released as a product. Okay, so you're talking about another gas, all right? And if you look back at your table here, you can see that you've got more oxygen, okay? So you can imply that it's been changed into the oxygen. Now, the other things that you can talk about is the fact that the carbon dioxide can become locked up in the rocks and therefore, as a result, locked up in fossil fuels, okay? Which is why carbon dioxide is then released when we are burning fossil fuels. So you could put those in as well. So you've got several different options, okay? Now, don't forget that we've also got the videos on Earth and atmosphere if you need a little bit of extra help on this topic, so you can go and search for those on our In My Element website. Okay, so question 3. This looks at the structure of the Earth. So we've done the Earth's atmosphere, now we're doing the structure of the Earth. And they've given you a diagram. They've labelled the outer core, the inner core, the mantle, and then they've labelled the letter Z. It's a 3-mark question, and they want you to tell them what Z is, and then they want you to explain the difference between the inner and the outer core. So this is testing that you know the difference between these two things. Now, the first part, you're going to label Z, and Z, very simply, you should know, is the crust. Now, if you don't know this and can't label this, you need to go back and look at our video on Earth and atmosphere, okay? And you can find that on the website. Now, part 2 for question 3 is explain the difference between the inner and the outer core. Now, you've got 3 marks, so you've already got 1 mark for this bit. So the next bit is worth 2. And they want a difference. So very simply, they want a fact about the inner core and a fact about the outer core. Now, the inner core, this bit here, is very simply, you need to know that the inner core is solid. And I'm hoping that you also know that the outer core is liquid. It is as simple as that. 1 mark for that bit, 1 mark for that bit. Just learn the structure. Learn the structure and the differences. They might also ask you a bit about tectonic plates and movement. They might want to know a bit more information about the mantle in other questions, but that gives you an idea. The best thing you can do is learn to understand this diagram, be able to label all 4 of those things, and be able to tell us a little bit about them. Right, we hope that helps, and we'll see you again soon for the next video.